Namaste, welcome back to our channel Ayurveda 360. So, as soon as BMS students enter into internship, they are always worried about facing the entrance examination to take up MD or MS in near future. After they clear their examination, that is APGET in recent times, ultimately the results come out and they get one or the other rank. Now the question is, which institution should the student prefer and which department should he prefer? This is one of the commonest dilemma every student faces after getting results in AIAPGET entrance examinations. So in this video, we are going to analyze certain of the factors students should consider before enrolling themselves into any of the postgraduate course. So the entire video is based on my experience and certain of the observation what I have made. So it may differ from person to person. The video is made with 10 different factors and each factor will be given a particular points like system. Ultimately at the end of 10 questions, depending on the points what you have obtained, you can say regarding the appropriateness of the college which you want to choose for your post graduation. So watch the video till the end for complete clearance. So when a student chooses a postgraduate institute for his MD or MS study, it is very important for that particular individual because after BMS, when you are ready to spend 3 more of your years studying the post graduation, it should be beneficial for you. It could be beneficial in terms of academic purpose, or it could be the clinical entity, or it could be even the analytical entity of analyzing the classical Ayurveda. So at the end of your post graduation, you should be at least few steps ahead of what you were just after BMS. Otherwise, the entire post graduation may not be of that much usefulness as you would have thought. It would be just a degree for namesake. So to achieve this, to achieve these goals, to excel in academics as well as clinical entity and analytical power of Ayurveda, you need to carefully decide the institute what you want to attend. And for that, I have taken up certain of the factors. So now we'll go one by one. The first factor what you need to consider is regarding the inpatient flow and outdoor patient flow. We'll take up the outdoor patient flow. Irrespective of department what you are choosing, may it be Dravya Guna or may it be Rasashastra or may it be Kaya Chikitsa, Shalya Shalakya or any of the department. You are a doctor and you should not forget that. So ultimately, once you are out of your post graduation, one or the other day you will be getting the opportunity to practice clinical practice. So during that time, the OPD exposure is utmost important. So institute where minimum 50 plus patients are attending, then you can consider 3 points for that. If the institute is getting around, you can say between 10 to or 20 to 40, you can say 20 to 40, then you can consider it as 2 points. If the institute is having less than 20 OPD patients per day, this is per day basis, then you can consider 1 point. This is one of the important parameter. This information you can get by directly visiting the institute what you want to attend or by taking inputs from your seniors or known people from that particular institute. Then second point is in relation to IPD, that is inpatient. Most of the colleges are having good OPD patients, but sometimes you may see certain institutes with very less IPD patients. This is one of the important drawback I must say, because once you are enrolling into a post graduation course, you are having in your mind regarding excelling in certain procedures. It could be the procedure in Shalya, it could be the Shalakya, it could be the Prasuti, or it could be any of the department. But when the patient is not there in IPD, then the entire your planning will be shattered. So inpatient is very much important. Even to see the progress of the patient. Of course, in OPD, you are going to see the progress of the patient once he comes for the follow-up. But in IPD it is very evident. Every day, every evening and morning you will be assessing the changes in the patient, whatever the medicine you have prescribed. So that is why a postgraduate student should have IPD patients, like his department should have good number of IPD patients. Now, even if the IPD patients are about 20, say about 20 and above, it's a very good number. So the institute must be very good. You can give 3 points. If the institute is having, say, about between 11 to 20, so then you may consider it as 2 points. If the institute is having around 1 to 10 patients in IPD, then you can consider it as 1 point. So this is in relation to how many patients you are going to get exposed every day. So if there are more patients in IPD, more number of patients, variety of cases, and that's how you learn from the patients themselves. That is why IPD is another of the important factor. So please make a note of this, your like answers what you are getting according to the institute, what you are going to choose from, and then see at the end whether it is coming under the ideal section or not. Then regarding the third point, when a person enters into post graduation, of course he is one of the, you can say, the qualified doctor for even practice, but still in post graduation, whenever you are learning from your expert teachers, that is a different experience. You are always going to gain something. If the department what you are going to choose conducts at least 3 to 4 classes per week for especially the postgraduate students, then you can say that the institute is very good. You can give it as 3 points. If the department what you are choosing conducts 1 or 2 classes only, like once in a week or twice in a week, you can give still 2 points. And if the institute or department doesn't conduct too many of PG classes, if they consider PGs as already learnt and that's why they are not teaching, or it could be any other reason, the staff is not interested or any of such kind of reason, if the classes are not happening for postgraduate student, classes in the sense the healthy discussions, rather than classes, it's a healthy discussion between the teacher and the student, then you can just give 1 point for that particular department and institute. So again, how do you get to know about this? Anyway, you will have done homework regarding this. You will have chosen your dream institute and department, and you will have certain information from the seniors. If not, directly visiting the institute before taking up would be the best option. So please keep in mind regarding all these points during that time. So the next point what you need to consider is in relation to infrastructure. Why we need to think about this? Because once you enter into a postgraduate department, you will have to submit a dissertation work after proper research protocol. So for that purpose, you need a good infrastructure in terms of, you can say, the modern building, and then certain of the equipments like laboratory services in the hospital, good OPD service, OPD rooms with all the necessary equipments is very much necessary. Because if you are not having proper examination room, if you don't have proper laboratory reports, or if the person has to go somewhere else for the investigations, then definitely somewhere or the other it will hinder your progress during the post graduation. Instead of doing the actual work, you might be behind these kind of office related works. So that is not actually advisable. So a college institute which has all these facilities, infrastructure, acceptable range of infrastructure, can be given 3 points. The one which has, you can say, an average, if not the best, at least average, it could be 2 points. And if there is some compromise between these, like the building is very old and the equipments are very old, sometimes lab also may not be attached, or maybe you can say given to somebody else to run the lab. So all these kinds of colleges may be given 1 point. So depending on best facility, medium kind of facility and low kind of facility, you may range it from 3, 2 and 1 point. So this is in relation to infrastructure. After that, in relation to again dissertation work, you require a good, well-equipped pharmacy. So if the pharmacy is attached along with the hospital, it is one of the best institute, because you will be required to prepare your own medicines during your dissertation work, and also while prescribing to the patient regarding OPD and IPD prescriptions. There also, if the pharmacy is there attached with the hospital, then it is always a bonus. You will have a direct access to observe the preparation methods, and if there is any changes that needs to be done, you can always give a suggestion there. So that is why the college with pharmacy attached will be 3 points. And if the college doesn't have its own pharmacy but the dispensary is good with multiple companies providing the medicines there, so then you can give it 2. And if there is no pharmacy and even dispensaries having limited medicines, maybe like each like a system may have certain 2 or 3 medicines only, then you may give 1 point. That is because when the dispensary is having less amount of medicines, even your thinking process will reduce, because all the physicians are writing the same kind of prescription and you may not get an idea regarding why they are actually writing that. If there is a wide availability of medicines, then definitely you will be seeing multiple prescriptions for the same disease, and that's how you develop your thought process. That's why 3, 2, 1 based on availability of pharmacy or the dispensary with good amount of medicines and dispensary with average amount of medicines. This is in relation to pharmacy. Next of the point is in relation to whether you have taken a seat in government quota. If the government seat is available and if the college is government, then it is always 3 points, because the first thing is the fees is less, of course, and at the same time you may get certain amount of stipend. Second point is when the hospital is government, there are high chances that patients will be freely coming to the OPDs, and even you will have more exposure in relation to the procedures, because patients are usually coming from middle and lower middle class and even lower class category. So they will be allowing you to give certain of the medicines of your choice. Like you may start feeling the patients as, you can say, very close to you, so that you can treat them in a better way. Whereas in other places what happens is sometimes you may get a higher class people and sometimes you don't get that much of opportunity to interact with them because of that change in the mindset of these kinds of people. So this is in relation to government college and government quota, 3 points. Government quota is there, but you got in some private college, and that private college has good amount of OPD patients, so and IPD patients, so you can give 2 points there. And third one, where you don't get in government quota and you take a management quota seat in private college, that you can give 1 point, because you're taking it based on your interest, but somewhere or the other your fees is too much, and at the same time the exposure also depends on your interest. So if you're ready to pay that much along with enthusiasm to learn, then you can join that college. There you can give 1 point. So that is in relation to the seat in which category you are taking that. Next one in relation to this is stipend. So wherever you are getting stipend in today's time about 25 or 30,000, you can say 30,000, you can give 3 points. Any of the institute where you are getting between 10 to, you can say 11 to 10,000 to 30,000, so that can be given 2 points. And anywhere you are getting less than 10,000 or sometimes nil, so such kind of institutes you can give 1 point. Why? Because when you are entering a postgraduate department, it is always good when you have a financial independency. So you need not ask about the financial crisis regarding with your parents. So you may manage your own kind of finance, and it is also a stepping stone for your future finance plans. So in that way it is beneficial in both the ways. The next one in relation to the interdepartmental relation. This is another of the aspect which usually students, or you can say any of the staff even, neglect that. When you are in a particular department, there are various departments which are, you can say, interdisciplinary to one another. Like for example, if you are taking a seat in Kaya Chikitsa, you may prescribe the patient with certain Panchakarma procedures. So you need to have a good bonding with that Panchakarma department. You need to have a good bonding with the department of Sanhita and Siddhanta to know regarding certain basics. You may have to speak to a Swasthavritta PG scholar or staff regarding the diet planning. So various departments are working together to make a proper or best kind of treatment possible for any patient. Now when a college or institute has a good interdepartmental relation, it is always beneficial for the PG scholar. You need not worry about visiting other department to ask any related doubts or related queries or related, you can say, referrals. So it is always better. So you can give such colleges 3 points. And if interdepartmental relation is not 100% good, but at least the allied subjects, like if not the all department, few of the departments in which you are studying and the other related department, if they are all having good relation, you can give 2 points. And if the institute doesn't have a very reputed interdisciplinary, or you can say interdepartmental relation, you can always give just 1 point, because it is always hindering to a PG scholar. This point is in relation to the benefits and hindrance to a PG scholar once he takes admission. So here you can give just 1 point. So 3, 2 and 1 based on the interdepartmental relation. Again, how do you know about this? You need to depend on recently passed out PG scholars whom you know well, who can give you a proper information, or at least visit the institute and maybe spend time with certain of the present scholars there. You may get a better idea. So all these things may not be, you can say, 100% in relation to getting the information from seniors, but at least you will have an idea regarding whether this category of the college, or you can say facility, is good or not. All these things will be knowing. Moving next, it is in relation to the past records of the college. If the college has majority number of postgraduate departments and every year the permission doesn't have any issues, every year the college is getting the same number of students or even increased number of students, there was never a negative review by CCIM or a recently launched NCISM inspection, then you can consider it as 3 points. If the college has not all kinds of department, but few are there, like maybe out of 14 or 15 departments, 6 departments are there for PG study, and all the 6 are available since last few years regularly. So they have been maintained well. So that college you can give 2 points. If the college has certain negative review in certain year, it did not get the permission for a PG course, and next year it got the permission, maybe after 2 years it did not get. So if the college has such kind of track, like you can say not a smooth track, if it is having certain negatives, ups and downs, then you can consider it as 1 point, because there is some issue. That is why the college may not be getting a constant support from CCIM or NCISM. So in this way, based on the past record of the college, 3, 2 and 1 point. And few students get doubt regarding whether to go to a far away place or whether to go to certain other state. Should I take up that, or should I take nearby my home? So this kind of dilemma is, again, it is another of the common question regarding the place, location. So the simple answer is, if the PG department or institute is in the same place or in the nearby place where you are going to plan your future clinic or future activities, then it is always 3 points. It is always beneficial. During the postgraduate study itself, you can pick up very few, you can say you can pick up multiple number of patients. You can get the pulse of the patients and then keep that moving ahead in your future activities, so that in that 3 years you have already developed a good base to be a successful Vaidya in that area. This is in relation to 3 point. Next, if the location is far away from your place and if you are not planning to settle there, but if you think that that particular institute can give certain new angle to your thought process, if you feel that is worth taking a risk there, then it is always beneficial to take up that college. It may be far away from your place, but getting that different angle, different approach to Ayurveda line of management is always going to be fruitful in your future activities. And sometimes you may settle in some other place where you did not plan. It may happen, and you may get some job opportunities in different places. So in that way, it is always beneficial to have knowledge from different schools of thoughts. So there it is 2 points. And if you are not at all planning regarding clinic or any future activity in a college or in a place, and you just want to pursue a degree, even if it is far, I just want a degree, irrespective of my benefits, I just want a degree. If that is the case, then 1 point. So 3, 2 and 1 point based on benefits regarding the location of institute what you are going to choose from. So in my opinion, if you are getting any institute with more than 20 points, then definitely you can consider your choice as the best for you at that particular point of time. None of the institute or none of the department can be said as best. Every time it depends on the timing of choosing the institute and department and the enthusiasm shown by that particular scholar while choosing that department and the inputs given by the department while he is studying. So multiple factors are involved to make the department as best. That is why above 20 can be considered as best for that particular student. If you are getting somewhere between 15 and 20, so between 15 and 20, yes, your choice is somewhat right, but there may be some compromise. So there could be some compromising features, like maybe infrastructure may not be that much up to the standard. Maybe pharmacy may be missing. Maybe the laboratory or other facilities like herbal garden may not be up to mark. So such factors may be there, certain hindering factors. But still, if you put in your effort, definitely you can overcome all those things. So 16 to 20, you can consider them as, yes, you can join that, but keep in mind regarding certain of the compromising factors what you have already chosen from. Next is in relation to the minimum, that is 10 to 15 if you are getting, then maybe you have to rethink. If you are getting the bare minimum 10 to 15, just rethink whether it is suitable for you. I am not saying that they are not suitable for you, but it is time to rethink regarding the possibilities of other institutes and other departments. So maybe in the same college, one department may be best for you, other department may not be best for you. So that is also possible. It's not like institute is best. It is not like that. Sometimes in the same institute, one department may go with 20 plus points. In the same institute, the other department may go with 15 points. So it is possible. So each student's best institute and best department will vary every year. So this you need to keep in mind. Don't blindly follow your seniors who have completed their post-graduation 5 years ago. The scenario 5 years ago in that institute and department is entirely different when you consider it on today's time, because time changes and hence everything changes. So a department will have drastic changes. It could be better than 5 years ago, or it could have been on the negative side. So that is why knowing the present of any particular department and institute is the best way of going forward, or best way of choosing a department. So in this way, I have taken these 10 points. I hope these are helpful for you. Kindly note them and calculate your own score, and even you can refer your other friends who are in dilemma to know whether their institute and department what they have chosen is ideal for that time or not. If you have any query, you can just drop it in the comment box, and if you are asking some question which you don't want to reveal outside, you can always mail and you will be getting the reply there. So if you have any other factors, if you feel like they're important, you can again comment in the comment section. So other students also will be benefited by all these comments. So in this way, we are going to end today's video. In the coming video, we'll be covering some more crucial points regarding the postgraduate scholars dilemmas and other things. So keep watching this space for the upcoming videos. If you like our video, kindly like, subscribe to our channel, and please ask your other Ayurveda loving students to have a look at our playlists, and if they are liking to, let them please share the videos with others, and in that way the channel can grow, and hence the other videos also will be coming very soon. So until next time, myself Dr. Nandish J, thank you.